The Rambling Geordie.
Hello everyone, I'm pretty sure you've seen the news by now about Ann Widdecombe. She was found murdered, essentially, in her home in Dartmoor. The police did have a guy in custody, a 28-year-old man, I think, which the media and the police were very, very, very quick to point out that he was a white British man. Funny how that happens, doesn't it? She was apparently being found nearly a day after she was actually killed, which is even worse. Now, you know, a lot of things have been said about Anne, about how she was a formidable politician and all that. Look, at the end of the day, this woman was a 78-year-old woman living on her own, and some horrible bastards broke into her house and fucking bludgeoned her to death. Absolutely horrible, and I don't care, you know, what your political views are. We should all be able to stand together and condemn this, she didn't deserve this. No one deserves this. We should all be able to stand up together and say, fuck me, how vile is this? But, this is the world of today that we're living in, and the left have proven that they just can't do that. You've got people on the left who constantly remind you that the left is the side that show love and unity and be kind and be tolerant of other people and all this. Do you know what? The amount of shit I saw on X last night and today, as I'm recording this, the amount of shit coming out of the mouths of people who are supposed to be peaceful and loving and all this, it's absolutely disgusting. The second that death was announced, right, before it was fully confirmed as a murder in some cases, the masks came right off. Just pure venom, gleeful, spiteful, hateful shit celebrating or even mocking her death. And then when it turned out she'd been murdered, oh well, suddenly a few of them were deleting their posts and scrambling to apologise. I mean, apologise? That's not a good thing, man. That's not redemption. It's damage control. All because they got caught showing their true colours. The left loves to paint themselves as the only side with compassion, the only side who show love and unity, the moral superiors who preach tolerance 24/7. We're against hate, they shout from the rooftops. But the minute someone they disagree with dies, especially a conservative or a Christian, or someone just as straight talking as Ann Widdecombe was, their true side comes out. The hatred and the spite and the bile. We're dancing on our grave before our body's even cold, man. That's not unity. It's not love. That is tribalism in its finest. And what it does is, it just shows people who these guys really are. Let's talk specifics for a minute, alright? Peter Tatchell. Yeah, that horrible... I can't even say it on this video because it'll get banned. He's a big-name left-wing activist, human rights campaigner, always banging on about tolerance and against bigotry. He posted, Tory ex-MP Ann Widdecombe is dead. She opposed every gay law reform for 40 years. Bigot. Within hours of her death being announced. Now, if you read that again, what does that say to you? That he's celebrating it. Of course he is. Okay, he's listing all of her views on LGBT issues like she's the actual devil herself or something. Then, when the backlash hits, as, it's confirmed as a murder, he was getting shit off people before that, don't get me wrong, but as soon as it was confirmed it was a murder, he deletes it all and issues an apology. I apologise for my insensitive comments. Nobody deserves to die. Well, that's not what you were thinking before there, Peter, was it? No matter what they believe in. Yeah, but again, that's not what you were saying on your last fucking tweet, dickhead. I mean, nice of you to apologise, eh? But, the initial reaction, That's who you really are. Okay? That's who you really are, mate. Vile, boy-loving, horrible bastard. And then there's another one, Supertanskiii, or Super Skank, whatever the fuck you want to call this absolute arsehole. She's straight out the gate with stuff like Ann Widdecombe starting her descent into hell, refusing to canonise her, saying her views harmed entire groups of people, mocking a dead woman. And then when the murder details come out, just more justification, wasn't it? More blocking people who call her out. Pure fucking filth. Celebrating or wishing damnation on a murdered pensioner because he didn't like her politics. That's not activism, okay? That's just fucking evil. And it's not just these two. Reports are flying around and loads of left-leaning accounts piling in with the same bile, calling her a monster, a bigot, celebrating her death. And then wham, murder confirmed, and suddenly some are backpedaling, apologising, claiming context or whatever. But you can't unring that bell, can you? The fact that your first instinct when a political opponent dies is to attack them, not show basic human decency, says absolutely everything about you. Especially when it's a murder. A woman who lives on her own was killed in her own home, and some people on your side are more bothered about settling old political scores than basic respect for the dead and her family. It's absolutely disgusting. I mean, the hypocrisy's staggering, to be fair. These are the same people who scream hate speech at anything right-wing, who demand be kind and unity after every tragedy on their side. But for Ann Widdecombe, nah, different rules. Because she was a conservative, she was pro-life, traditional values, Reform UK supporter in later years. She didn't toe the line, so she doesn't get the compassion treatment, does she? The right, we usually manage basic respect when opponents die, even ones we've clashed with. Look at the tributes from across the spectrum initially. That's decency. The left's tolerance evaporates the second it's inconvenient. Look, I'm not saying everyone should have loved the woman. I'm not saying everyone should have been, crying into their own cornflakes or whatever about it. Disagreements are fine. Ann Widdecombe, she did have strong views. She owned them, she debated them, and she never hid from them. That's what made her who she was. But murdering her? Come on, man. Celebrating it or spitting on her memory? Nah, no way. The apologies after the fact don't wash away the initial glee, because it just shows the left's version of love and unity is conditional on you agreeing with them. And when you don't, the mask slips and the real ugliness shows. The shocking day for the country, another politician murdered, this time in her own home. Justice needs to be done, and to those on the left who showed their true colours, have a fucking word with yourselves. Basic humanity shouldn't be this hard, like. R.I.P. Ann Widdecombe. If anyone has any thoughts on what I've said, let me know in the comments. Has the left gone too far here? I think it's hard to argue against it, to be fair, but anyway, let me know what you think. And subscribe for more Geordie truth-telling, shall we say? And I'll catch you guys later. Cheers.
Don't be daft, man.